Hey, y'all, what's good, Atlanta? This is What's Good Atlanta. I'm Mark Kendall.
And I'm David Perdue. Each week, we'll give you a rundown of uplifting or even unusual stories from the universe known as Atlanta, as we all try to find a little something that's good.
We want to thank you for joining us for a very special episode of What's Good Atlanta, our season premiere, live from the Alliance Theater, where we're hosting the Behind the Play evening for the world premiere of Bus. Give it up a Bus, y'all. Very fun.
Yeah. It's like Oprah. Everybody has a premiere. I love that. Anyway, we have some special guests coming up to talk about the play in a moment. But first, Mark, what's one thing that's good with you this week?
I mean, honestly, just being in the Alliance Theater, this spot's really nice. It's great to be here. Great to be with such amazing folks. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what about yourself?
I'm going to say same. I just saw Jamie Foxx Netflix special, and I was like, this looked familiar. So I'm pretty sure I'm standing where he was standing, so I feel good.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So let's get into the headlines you might have missed. Here's what's good with the news this week. Something you might have missed, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources has used 2 MARTA cars to build an artificial reef off the coast of Georgia. That's right. The 2 cars were sunk about 20 miles offshore, 60 feet down. It's not exactly how I imagined it, but I'm glad to hear that the dream of MARTA expanding to other locations is finally happening in one way or another, you know?
Listen, I mean, those fish got to be so happy. It's like a extreme home makeover for the fishes.
Yeah. They're like, oh, snap, we got trains now.
We ain't never had a train before.
Yeah.
Real hype about that. Earlier this month, 76-year-old great-grandmother went viral when she found out she was 12 months pregnant. I'm just going to say this right now. That's too many months pregnant for a great-grandmother. In any case, she is the GOAT, the greatest grandmother of all time.
Yeah.
Come on now.
All right. Do we have any MJQ fans out there? Very cool. All right. There's some particularly good news for y'all. MJQ is set to reopen this week in its new spot, Underground Atlanta. What you may not know is that the dance club is taking over the old Dante's Down the Hatch location, making this a real case of a very Atlanta thing replacing another very Atlanta thing. So, David, what's another example of a very Atlanta thing replacing another very Atlanta thing?
I got you. All right. How about metal plates that take the place of potholes?
Okay. Yeah. Andre taking the place of Keisha is another example. All right. Now for a look at sports, David.
Okay. All right.
It's time for a segment on the show we like to call It's Sports.
It's Sports.
Okay, so David, the TikTok ban resulted in an 18-hour outage.
Mark, it's sports.
Hang with me for a second. All right, I'm going to get to it eventually. So when TikTok went out, they had a message that said something along the lines of like, unfortunately, you can't use TikTok for right now. But fortunately, the president, blah, 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 blah. Now, the issue itself aside, it reminded me of a classic improv game called Fortunately, Unfortunately.
Mark.
Oh, almost there. Okay, I'm almost at the sports part. Okay, so a lot has happened across the sports landscape of the city, and sometimes it can be tough to be, a fan of Atlanta sports teams. So I thought you could give us the It's Sports update, but in the fortunately, unfortunately format. Is that cool?
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right, I got you. All right. Fortunately, the Atlanta Falcons running back Bijan Robinson was named to the Pro Bowl.
That's good. Great.
All right, we'll clap on that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Unfortunately, the Falcon season went very falcony.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, okay.
Very falcony.
All right, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Fortunately, Gwinnett's very own Travis Hunter won the Heisman.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, our very own Coach Prime lost his Pro Bowl game.
All right, that's unfortunate. That happened.
Yeah, it did happen.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Fortunately, Trae Young still pulls up from half court anytime he wants.
Yeah, that's Trae. He's great.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Hawks are currently riding a 5-game losing streak. Currently, as we're doing it might be in the middle of a 6. We don't know. All right, I have to have one more update, Mark. Miss Jervis Manson from Atlanta celebrated her 103rd birthday this week.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of birthdays.
Okay.
Not only is he making it to 103 years old, truly legendary, but one of the things I love about it is she's a Braves fan, so she's been able to boo the Mets since their inaugural season, and that's important to me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And y'all, that has been
It's Sports. And moving on to weather and traffic, we give you twice the news in half the time here on What's Good Atlanta.
Worth what you pay, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So we had snow and ice hit Atlanta last week, shutting down the city for 2 days. The roads were a mess, with Atlanta drivers doing their best and worst jobs to navigate the icy roads. To help us make sense of it all, here's traffic with Curtis.
Humps and beeps in the roads and streets, it's traffic with Curtis.
Curtis.
Hey, Dave.
I go by David.
D, what's up? How you feeling?
That's somehow worse. All right. But can you tell us what we learned in traffic these last few snow days?
My man D. I gotta say, this past week has been amazing. During the snow week on those icy roads, I saw people get from point A to point B in the most creative way fashion. I saw people ice skate on the street. I saw people ski on the street. I saw people snow luge on the street. And that's not else. I was so inspired by all the young Jeezys that I saw made of snow all over the city.
This is true. We did see the snowman.
I saw 3-foot young Jesus. I saw 6 feet young Jesus. I saw 7-foot young Jesus. I saw 2.5-foot young Jesus.
So many young Jesus.
I saw 3-meter young Jesus. You know how many feet that is?
Tell me.
It's roughly 9 feet of young Jesus.
I love it.
You know what it feels like when you're just walking to the grocery store and you see young Jeezy 8 times on your walk to Kroger?
I don't know. I stayed inside.
It's inspiring. It reminds you that anything's possible.
Cheer. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Curtis?
Go ahead.
What do you think? Because we're not like a snowy, icy city. Where do you think people got these like skis or the blade? Like, do you think they just had them in their house?
The East Atlanta Santa Gucci Mane gave it to me. Yeah, all you gotta do is rub your hands together 3 times.
Yeah.
Ask for what you want.
Yeah.
And Gucci Mane,
He will appear.
He'll appear.
You gotta say though. What you gotta say
so.
though? You gotta say, Bird. You gotta say Bird. You gotta say Bird.
All right, David, I gotta go. Gucci Mane just gifted me with the hot air balloon.
Oh man, he's so generous. Gucci Mane's so generous. Y'all give it up for Curtis. This has been Traffic with Curtis.
Honks and beeps in the roads and streets, it's Traffic with Curtis.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our 3 special guests, Zora Howard, Liliana Blaine Cruz, and Cecil Blucher. Give it up for them.
So stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to What's Good Atlanta, live from the Alliance Theater.
That's right. Tonight, we're hosting Behind the Play Bust, which makes its world premiere here at the Alliance Theater on February 13th.
That's right. You can take your boo for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not in the script. I just thought y'all should know that. Okay. And here to talk to us about the play is writer Zora Howard. There we go. Director Liliana Blaine Cruz. And actor Cecil Blucher. Give it up for them.
So y'all, thank you so much.
Yes, thank y'all.
For joining us. It's like we mentioned earlier, we had a chance to read the script. Zora, you wrote something so amazing, and it's so great to see what you all are going to make together. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Open up. We had a question for y'all, and this is for all y'all. You know, what's it been like working together on this piece in Atlanta? What's it been like?
We've been having a time. Woo! I think I speak for myself, so excited that the world premiere of this piece is going to be in this city specifically. The Alliance has been very welcoming, but also just getting in the room and meeting all of the creatives, because we audition folks and we see them kind of getting up until this point, but you don't know what that energy is going to be until that first day of rehearsal. And, you know, for me, I got into that room and I was like, okay, we're going to be all right. And everybody's just coming together to tell this story in such a beautiful way. So I'm very humbled by it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just jump in and say, yeah, Atlanta.
Cheer.
Yes, it's been exciting. You know, I'm hyped. I'm very hyped, and it's been wonderful to kind of be welcomed so warmly by the Alliance. You know, when, working on projects, all you hope for is that warmth in a room. You hope that you walk in and you're excited to come in every day, and that's what it's been like for, I think, us. I'm gonna speak for Cecil. It's been exciting for us to actually be together, and in some ways, one of the joys of being in this town, as Zora said, and in this theater, is that it is a really kinetic, visceral kind of show and kind of play. And so to be able to have an audience, even engaging with people in the room right now, gets me excited about what's to come.
Love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I could end there. No, it's great. This is my first time doing a play in Atlanta. Moved here a couple years ago, and it's just awesome. It's a great piece to do. Couldn't ask for a better piece of material to chew on, and I'm getting well acquainted with the traffic here.
It's the most Atlanta thing to get acquainted with. This question is for you, Zora. As having read the play, one of the things I noticed that it is set in Huntsville. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Huntsville. It's a special place to me because I met an astronaut, and I never thought I'd meet an astronaut. But I'm curious what might have inspired Huntsville.
You know, I got to spend some time in that city and be with some people who were from Huntsville for a while, and just their rhythms and their humor and their pace, the time that they took. It's just different being in the Deep South. So I feel like I was kind of a fly on the wall for a little while. Just a few visits that I was able to make to that city, and it inspired me. I found these characters there.
I love that. I also say that was the first time when I was in Huntsville, I heard like a real scientist have like a deep Southern accent, and I was like, I'm very confused because you sounded very like, oh, you know what you're talking about, but it was a lot of y'alls, and I'm from the South, and I was like, I just never heard it like that. You know what I mean? So
it's an interesting city.
It
I
is.
mean, the NASA of it all, the military base of it all,
Right.
and then just you are in Alabama.
you're in
Don't
Alabama.
forget it. So-
Absolutely.
Yeah. Liliana, question for you. What were you most excited to tackle in the rehearsal room?
There are so many things. I mean, one, I just want to say Zora Howard, what a playwright. Yes.
Come on.
Thank you.
She really loves human beings, right? Like at the center of this show is a group, a community of students, grandparents, teachers, police officers, and you feel the care and specificity in every single one of those characters. And I think that for me as a director, like finding the truth with a group of actors into really manifesting something real and also hilarious and also strange was the big challenge that I was so excited to walk into. Yeah.
I love that. All right, this one is for you, Zora. We talked about this because I don't know. We did have a chance to talk before this yesterday, and one of the things I was saying is what I love to ask people is like origin stories. When I read the play, my first thought was I need to know how. Like how did you come with it? So if you can, like, what's kind of the origin story for you for the idea of this?
Yeah, there's so many things go into because it's a long journey to get to this point. But I can say with this play, in 2013, it was in the wake of the murder of Trayvon Martin. And I was grappling with the no indictment ruling. And I wrote a poem. It's called Rage. And I was writing that, trying to reckon with my own rage. I needed to, writing is how I process, how I walk in the world. So I needed to write something. And the poem asked, what will I build with this rage, my mortar? And this idea, and for me, I needed it. I needed that in that moment to think about my rage as something constructive, not destructive, something with which I could build, something with which I could imagine, something with which I could fuel myself, something with which I could do before it did to me. And Bust is really, in a lot of ways, I think just that meditation for years, because that was 2013, that meditation staying with me, because the rage doesn't go away. There have been many encounters with my rage over those years, and just building upon that meditation and wanting to share it with my people. What can we do with our rage? That's really the origin.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. So this question for all y'all. So, in such a brilliant way, the play blends together so many things, humor, levity, magical realism, right? But y'all are also touching on like very real and heavy topics throughout the Black experience. And so in learning about the play, we also thought of other film and television works like, Atlanta, Sorry to Bother You, They Cloned Tyrone, that also maybe play with some similar tones at moments. And so can you talk about any either reference points or anything that came up while you were either writing, directing, rehearsing in any way that came up as you all collaborated together?
I think music in this process has been, a guide. I think our music holds the record. This is not new. Black people have been talking about this, been sending out this message for years and years and years and years and years, and the message is in the music. So I think in terms of accessing what I need to access in the writing process, and then when we bring in collaborators, it has been a resource. Just thinking about, different frequencies of being, different vibrations, where we can go. This play does ask where we can go. So I think, the music.
I love that.
Cultural reference points. I don't want to give too much away, but what's resonating for me, we talked about The Matrix, we talked about Karate Kid, and given the day I had today, those two are really sticking with me right now. And I think once you come see it, it'll make a lot of sense.
This is kind of like not a direct reference, but something that we did in Atlanta that is making me think is we went roller skating at Sparkles. And by roller skating, I mean I watched a lot of people roller skate. And I was really proud of them and really amazed by them. But y'all really know how to roller skate in Atlanta. But what was so wonderful about it was the sense of like community. Like you felt like, oh, everybody there knew each other and everybody there was watching out for each other. And there was a kind of beauty in the freedom of that movement, right? Like the kind of gliding, the way people are literally flying in that space. And I think about, when we were dreaming about this show, we're thinking about freedom, we're thinking about transformation, we're thinking about how do Black folks find a kind of peace. And it was really beautiful to kind of go to that roller skating rink and see a lot of joyous Black people. Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question before we move on. This is the last question I'll kind of ask is, I've read it. I can't wait to watch it. My question is, I was with my brother and I tried to describe what I read in the best way possible. I couldn't, right? So I guess the question for all of you is like, how would you describe either the experience writing it, working on it, directing it? Like, how would you describe it?
Ooh. I'm not going to start.
I'm getting my Rose Scout on.
Yeah, one of the motifs that I'll say that won't give too much away is the motif of the ocean, right? And you look at the ocean, and one day it's beautiful, and it's still, and it's calm, and it's relaxed, and the next day the waves are crazy, and you feel like you're going to get overwhelmed, you're going to get swallowed up, you're going to go to the bottom of the sea, and some days you're kind of like, okay, I'm floating, I'm okay. I think in some ways, like, the work of this show is one that takes you through ups and downs and arounds. And sometimes you're like, yay, I'm in some waves. This is fun. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, help. And that for me feels true. Like we're kind of taking this journey together. That's the beauty, I think, of new work, right? Like this has never been done before. This is the first time it's getting really staged. We are discovering in the moment, and anybody who comes to the Alliance is going to be experiencing something for the first time that we too are experiencing for the first time. And that to me is so profound in the new play process. You are watching creation as we are creating, and that's beautiful because it's also connected to the source that has existed since the beginning of time, So those are all the ways in which I get excited and scared and moved and inspired by working on this play.
At the risk of sounding cliche, I almost don't want to say it, but it really does feel like how the actors at the Globe must have felt when they were working on Shakespeare when it first happened. Long story long. I went to Chicago. I was in Chicago one time watching a play, and they were doing Shakespeare in the Park. I think it was Romeo and Juliet. And I've seen a lot of Shakespeare, and I've never seen it so clear. I've never seen it so like I could visualize like the world with them. And then I was like, wow, it really unlocked it for me. And the way we are all, not just me, this is a group effort. We are all being forced to like use our imaginations. That's kind of what it makes me think of. And I hope I'm answering the question, which is like, what is my experience like working? I think it's a big piece of poetry, and to embody that is a lot, but it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, all those things. All those things. The only thing I add is just my experience, because I have a process before there's just me and the page. There's me and the page and maybe some other folks. But before it's, folks in a room, that's very solitary. And I kind of know the piece to an extent. Like I know the piece very well, but it has a limit. And then I bring it into a room and I share it before sharing it with the audience, I share it with the room, and how I know the piece just deepens. And then we will share it with an audience, and how I know and how we know the piece will deepen. And that kind of movement is the most thrilling thing for me as a writer. So that's what I'm every day coming into, is like, I know it's gonna move somehow. How it's gonna move, I cannot say, but I know I will be moved in it, and I live for that movement. And that's why I cannot wait to share it with an audience, because I know it's gonna go that much further. Whose direction, cannot say, but can't wait for it.
Love it, love it.
And I just want to say one other thing. We have a tremendous cast of human beings
Let's talk about it.
occupying this stage. They are amazing. And not all of them are on stage right now, but can we applaud for them anyway? Yes!
Yes. Some of them are here. Yes.
Thank you.
Fantastic, y'all. Those were amazing answers. Thank you so much. And, no spoilers, but in the play, Steve Harvey is referenced. So
Yeah.
because of that,
Yeah, so there's a little family feud. So we thought we'd get to know each of you a little better with an Atlanta-inspired family feud fast money round. Y'all down?
y'all down?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Most reluctant yes ever. I love it.
All right, so we're gonna get 60 seconds on the clock, and we'll go down the line just for answers. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can just say pass. All right. So we are gonna now begin the fast money
Oh my God.
round.
I'm really
Yes.
nervous.
All right. What's the only acceptable way to order wings?
Fried hard.
See,
That's great.
Me.
Oh yeah.
Sauced.
Yeah, barbecue sauce.
I
don't know.
All right. How much would someone have to pay you for you to say hot Lana?
$1.
25 cents.
It's free.
oh man. All right. What Atlanta sports team has the nicest fans?
The Hawks, is that a thing?
United.
Yeah, United.
If you could eat one food from Waffle House for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Seltzer water.
Salsa water. She had salsa water. They got that at Waffle House.
I don't know if they have that at Waffle
I'm
House.
about to say you got a different Waffle House than I've been to.
I eat chicken. I eat chicken from Waffle House.
Okay.
I'll do the grits with extra butter.
All right. Here we go. This is my favorite one to ask. Name a musical artist from Atlanta that makes you think of Atlanta.
Sierra.
New or just in general? An artist in general? Or a new one?
I'm gonna say music artist. Yeah.
Music. Okay.
Yeah, music.
Sierra.
Think of Atlanta. Okay, you go.
So many. I'm gonna go with Lil Baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Usher.
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Y'all did fantastic.
Yes.
That has been Fast Money. Give it up for them.
Wow.
On the spot.
You
Wow.
cheat.
Liana and Zora and Cecil, thank you both. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Give it up for them one more
Yes,
time.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all
That's
so
right.
much.
We're super excited to see the show. Y'all remember again, Bus opens right here on the stage at the Alliance, February 13th. In the words of the legendary Kid Capri, a world premiere. Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Let's give it up
Give it
for
one
them.
more time
Thank
for
you so
them.
much, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Y'all did great. Appreciate y'all. Amazing. Got to go see the play February 13th right here.
Yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
David, that was great.
It was amazing.
Getting to talk to them.
They was cheating a little bit though. Y'all was giving out all the answers.
I mean, I appreciate that support.
I do appreciate it. Atlanta very supportive.
Before we go with the podcast segment, David, it's time that we run a
Top 5.
Top 5.
Okay, so David, we've had the opportunity to read the script for Bus, and we've just had a conversation with the amazing writer, director, and lead actor. So in this top 5, let's share 5 words that come to mind when you think of this show. All right?
Okay, all right.
I'll start with one.
Yeah.
One is just laughter. I'll say this is a funny,
Absolutely.
funny script. Like I was laughing and felt joy just as much as I felt any other emotion while reading it.
I'm gonna, as I say, piggyback on that. I've read the script, and I remember telling Zora, human. It is one of the most human pieces of work that I've read in a very long time. So it's something. It's just so human.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say epic. It just packs so much in. It's just so in the greatest way imaginable. So epic, so large, so big. Yeah.
Okay, mine. I'm gonna go with singular. Singular. I've also not read anything quite like this. As I was reading, I remember thinking like, I can't wait to meet the person who wrote this because I'm like, that's an artist being an artist in its purest form.
Yeah.
So I'll say singular.
Yeah. And lastly, I'll just say surprise. Like just the unexpected in the greatest way possible. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's top five.
Yeah.
Top 5.
All right. Before we sign off, Mark, I got to ask a question. What's some good that you're taking away from tonight?
I mean, the good that I'm taking away is that February 13th, I can finally see Bust. You know?
Absolutely.
That's the good I'm taking away with it. What about yourself?
Like I said earlier, from tonight, I'm on the same stage that Jamie Foxx is on, so I'm taking that away. I'm telling my mama that. But as far as the play is concerned, man, it is, like I said, a singular piece of work. I'm so excited to be able to talk to everybody over who's a part of it and to witness it. You know, I'm gonna come back and definitely watch it. So I'm excited. And everybody who can hear this should be too. Go tell your friends. All right. All right.
Love that. All right, so don't forget, y'all, you can hit the What's Good Atlanta tip line at podcasts at wabe.org. Let us know what's good in Atlanta, be it breaking news or maybe just a bright spot from your drive past Woodruff Arts Center.
What's Good Atlanta is produced by us in collaboration with Cool Productions and WABE. Our executive producer is Scotty Crow with additional production by Matt Owen. Special thanks to Kevin Rinker for production on this live episode.
Yes, and a shout out to Liliana Blaine Cruz, Zora Howard, Cecil Bletcher, and the cast of Bust, Davey R. Snipes, Kathleen Covington, and everyone at the Alliance Theater for hosting us to host this. And so you can find out more at wabe.org/What's Good Atlanta. Peace. See y'all.
Brr.
Yeah.
WABE.